Welcome to GMK Book Club. Today we are talking to a guest who needs no introduction. He has written more than 70 books and more than 100 books not yet published. It's none other than Dr. David G. Mailu, and the book we are reviewing today, out of his many books, is Man from Machakos. Now, reading the book Man from Machakos, it brings the story of Kivindio, a man who had a dream to become a military officer, but his dreams are dashed. One of the things I like about this book is it talks about the basic things, the everyday things like the sweet potatoes he was eating on his way to the recruitment camp. How, as a writer, come to a point where you can be able to identify with those little details that sometimes as young people we don't really, was it a technique you used or what was it?
The story you are talking about, Man from Machakos, have been asked by so many people, is this a real story? Because many people couldn't believe that this is fiction.
Mentioning the issue of being natural, the character of Kivindio is a character can be replicated anywhere in this country, looking at the state of joblessness, where so many people are looking for an opportunity to be employed so that they can live their dream. But in your book, you bring that aspect so powerfully. Did you interrogate the situation we are at right now?
I wrote this book because of a number of things. First of all, looking into the situation as it is, unemployment, corruption, and but lack of confidence in one's self. Looking at himself in a mirror, he sees nothing for him coming. So I have actually to try to build a room for him, the base for him, the future which he has lost. So of course, the idea of going to look for the employment for the job, and he wanted to be an army man or wanted to be in armed forces, that was not actually his. It was a question of looking for a job. This is what it is. So I'm looking at it here. If you're looking for a job, the job is not there. The government is not giving you the job, and what is left of you? It's around something like that.
Actually, I read from your book in page 61. You became the king of your own life. You became a man who can stand up against whatever challenge. What I've been seeing in you is a boy who's frightened by the loud sounds of the world. I see a boy who sheds tears because a girl has refused your hand for marriage. In you, I see a boy who's lost in the forest of his own making. Kivindio, I'm ashamed of you. Do you know that? Kivindio felt heat and remained silent. And actually, when you, this is the 7th chapter.
Yes.
You provoke this young man. Actually, in the book, it talks about him being beaten by the dad, in the dad's words.
Yes.
And again, this is a transformation point where the dad hands him some heritage. The bow, the arrows, and the 3-legged seat.
Yes.
Was this symbolic?
No, it was symbolic. The whole thing of inheriting this is what he had, but more than that was symbolic of he would want to give him the best. But these were fundamental issues that he himself used, the foundation, and every other thing is an addition to that. And this sense of helplessness is what I'm trying to fight against, which is very common. Now the question is, if your father doesn't solve the problems, if your mother doesn't solve the problems, if the government doesn't solve your problem, and if you keep on praying and God doesn't seem to be answering, where are you going? You are left to yourself. And so you have to sit down and say, okay, fine, who am I? And that is what I'm trying to say.
I was trying to relate that character of Kivindio that you paint so well with your own real life story of how you grew up to eventually seek knowledge for yourself and become an avid writer, where you've written more than 70 books.
I'm self-taught. The last time I saw a teacher was when I was in standard 8, And then, of course, I wanted education very much, so I had actually to employ other means of doing their correspondence, everything. So, in the long run, I can simplify this, then by saying I turned my house into my high school, my university, and everything. You can actually study and get anywhere. You have to begin from yourself, and this is why man from Machakos was the focus on that.
Indeed, a book from David Mailu, he never disappoints, Man from Machakos. And he says, where there is a will, there is a way. If you're a young person out there and it seems like your dreams have been shut down, there's still another way. That's what David Mailu is telling us through the lenses of his book, Man from Machakos. From us, where we are at the Wells bookstore, it's goodbye. I'm Jimmy Wambua, as I hand you over back to the studio for GMK.